Hi everyone, this is Rosalyn and I'm talking about chapters 1 through 3 in our Elements of Speech class. In the first chapter, we talk about communication and the fundamental principles of communication. So those were how communication is a process, a system, it could be a transactional process, and how it can be intentional or unintentional. So if we go in deeper to the transactional process of communication, then we start talking about senders and receivers. So a sender is someone that is speaking to someone else and they are trying to deliver their thoughts to that person clearly, or another term used in the book is encode information to another person. And then the receiver would be the person that is listening to what this person has to say and they're interpreting or decoding that information. So with this YouTube video, I'm currently the sender, and if you're watching, you're the receiver. But that can flip around if you decide to reply to my video and give me any criticism or compliments, suggestions, and then I'll be the receiver at that time. And hopefully, if I'm a competent communicator, I'll be able to take that information in a positive way and apply it to my next video. We'll go ahead to chapter 2 and we start talking about selective attention. And that really just talks about how we filter information that's coming at us. So when we're in a classroom listening to Dr. Robinson, for example, we want to filter out noise that's in the hallway from people that are walking by the classroom, or we may also want to try and not be distracted by what other people in the classroom are doing if they're just so happening not to be paying attention. And part of us filtering that information can also be looked at as selective retention, and that talks about how we store specific information. So if we actually get one of these pop quizzes one day that Dr. Robinson was mentioning, then hopefully we've been paying attention and taking notes, and that will reflect when we try to communicate that information onto our pop quiz, and we'll get a good grade. One term that did interest me was when we were talking about cognitive complexity, and that is described in the book as a term that psychologists use to explain our ability to process, interpret, and store simple to intricate information. So an example of this can be our first impression of someone. If someone dresses nicely, they carry themselves well, maybe they come off as professional, and we may think that that person cares about their appearance, that they're friendly and nice, and that they know what they're doing when they interact with people in society. Whereas we might look at someone that came to class late, for an example, and dressed in sweats, and we might think this person doesn't have it together, they're slob, they don't care about their appearance, when in reality it could just be something as simple as they ran into trouble with their car or their alarm didn't go off, and so now they're having a bad day and they try their best to get to class on time, but maybe they just weren't able to do so. So in our impressions of someone can be affected by stereotypes. So with that, I'll actually go into chapter 3, because the topic that I like most and one of the topics that I'm passionate about is gender stereotypes. So with gender stereotypes, we start talking about how people view men and women differently. Men are seen as strong, assertive, athletic, natural-born leaders, where women can be viewed as soft-spoken, sensitive, that person should be pretty and care about how she looks. And there's actually an insult when it comes to the athletic world, and that insult is you throw like a girl. But if you take things that have been in the news recently with someone like Monet Davis, who can throw a fastball at 70 miles per hour, then your response to that should be, yes, thank you for saying that I throw like a girl, because there are excellent female athletes out there. Another example would be the women's soccer team yesterday in the World Cup, and they were able to defeat Japan. So, yay about that. So, but gender stereotypes also come into play with today's business world. If you're a woman and you want to climb the corporate ladder, something that you may have to face is the glass ceiling. And that really just talks about how in the past, managers or owners of a business may have looked over us for a promotion because they tend to think that a woman is either going to be interested in getting married or having a family, and once she does that, she won't be able to evenly split her time between work and her family. Whereas if a man has a family, no one thinks, oh, he can't handle the workload that we're going to give him. And, you know, more often they're given the promotion. And really, a promotion should be given off the person that knows the information better and is a hard worker and other aspects of, you know, what comes with a good employee. And the book actually talks about how, because of gender stereotypes, more women start their own business and they're very successful with that. And by starting your own business, you don't have to worry about, am I going to get that promotion? Am I coming off the right way? What if I don't get that partnership with the law firm? And was it because I'm a woman? So, what I will post in the comments is a link to an article on ESPN's website, and it's just talking more about Monet Davis. And so if you don't really know who that is, or you're interested in reading about her more or watching a video of her, that'll be in the comments and you can click on that. So I'll go ahead and end there, and I'll see everyone in class. All right, bye guys.